All right, protect yourself at all times. We are on it. Ron Futrell here with the latest Vegas Sportscast for this Wednesday. Okay, Vegas Golden Knights. We got Vegas Golden Knights, NFL, bunch of stuff going on with UNLV sports today and throughout this weekend. So we'll update you on that with football, basketball, soccer going on there. Okay, let's start out with the Vegas Golden Knights, a loss at the Montreal Canadiens. So it was a good game. They played solid against the Canadiens, did get a win on the road, did not get that win, 3-2 final score. So they're headed home now, playing Winnipeg on Friday. So they're happy to be home. They've had 6 games in a row on the road, and they've got a road streak here that's 8 of their 9 games would be on the road. So the one outlier is Friday night, chance to go watch them play again, T-Mobile Arena against the Winnipeg Jets Friday. So we'll have a preview of that coming up a little bit later on the Vegas Sportscast and fill you in on the latest there. But I'm going to imagine the players are happy to be home after 6 games on the road, 6 tough games on the road. And I'm going to say Max Legacy is doing a good job in the nets. Okay, I've mentioned it here as he's no longer the 4th string goalie. He is their 1st string goalie right now. That's all they got. Dylan Ferguson, 19 years old on the bench. Sort of fun to see him sitting there. 19 years old, and he looks younger than 19. But he's a guy that played in the junior leagues, and now he's the backup goalie for the Vegas Golden Knights. That being said, still waiting to hear, getting very little information on Marc-Andre Fleury with that concussion. Now it's been more than 2 weeks. It was going to be a week initially. But I'm guessing that they just want to make sure 100% that he's doing well. The team is playing well. The team is doing fine. I mean, let's go here. If they are to make the Stanley Cup playoffs and do well in the playoffs, it's going to be Marc-Andre Fleury that's going to be the difference. So I'm going to go with the Clayton Kershaw theory here. Give him some rest. It's a long NHL season. Make sure he's 100% healthy. Just let him kick back, rest. The guy's been there before. He's done it before. He's 32 years old. So I'm going to guess that that's sort of their theory here, is to let him take a little bit of a break and get ready. And, by the way, get some work for these younger guys. The team is now 9-5-1. Much better than anybody would have expected. If you would have asked me odds, I would have said, 5-9-1 would have been, and 5 wins would have been good to have 10 points at this stage. But they instead have 9 wins with that one shootout loss, which they get a point for. And tomorrow night on Channel 8, by the way, I'm going to explain that system a little bit, the scoring system and point system and how it works in the NHL, because it's unlike other sports. So that I've got to do. Take the time with that to explain it a little bit now that we've got a record that you can latch onto and say, this is where they're at. Okay, so Winnipeg Jets tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, or Friday night at T-Mobile Arena, Vegas Golden Knights play once again. Okay, Rebel Sports going on. Tonight soccer is happening. Mountain West Conference Tournament happening at Peter Johann Field on the campus of UNLV. Rebels play at 7 p.m. tonight. There's a big tailgate party beginning around 5:30 if you want to go out there and have some fun, enjoy that. So check it out. I mean, this is fun. Mountain West Tournament time. And it's not the same teams as you have in the Mountain West typically, so it's a different conference type of thing. So go out there, check it out tonight. Friday night, BYU, same night as the hockey game, BYU against UNLV out at Sam Boyd Stadium. Now, that's going to be a fun matchup. Okay, that's a game the Rebels can win. Favored in this game, okay, to be able to beat BYU. And the Cougars are struggling this year. Well, of course, Rebels are struggling, but they've got 4 wins. Okay, you have to have 6 wins to be bowl eligible. They have 3 games left, so they have to win 2 of the next 3. There's the math on that. Simply put, there's the math on that. They play BYU at home on Friday. Then they've got New Mexico State on the road the following Saturday, and then they play up in Reno the following Saturday as their final regular season game. They don't want it to, even though Reno is having a horrible season, the Rebels do not want it to come down to having to beat Reno to make a bowl game, because that could become a mess up there then. That could get crazy, because we know Reno would love nothing more, the Wolfpack, than to be able to beat the rivals and knock them out of bowl contention, and it would be the one thing to salvage their season. So they don't want it to come down to that. The way you do that is win the next 2 games. So, and I would like to see Tony Sanchez's team make the playoffs, a bowl game. Would be marvelous to see him to be able to do that in just his third season with the Rebels, especially when you consider the way this season started with that loss to Howard, that horrible loss to Howard, when they were 43-point favorites, 43 point and lost the game. So, with that, Rebel basketball, first regular season game for the Rebels on Saturday night. That's going to be against Alaska Fairbanks. So, you might want to check that out, see what the Rebels... No, check that. Alaska Fairbanks was the exhibition game. This is going to be against the Rattlers of Florida A&M on Saturday night out at Thomas & Mack. First chance in this new season to see what the Rebels can do this year with Marvin Menzies, second-year coach for the Rebels after that horrible season last year. So we'll check that out. Okay, there's a Thursday night football game in the NFL, Seattle, Arizona, at Arizona. Should be interesting to see what Arizona's 6-point underdog favorites in this game. Or check that, the other way around, underdogs. They're getting 6 points at home. I like Seattle getting the points at home. I like Seattle. And by the way, I did pick the Monday Night Football game right. I did say take the over against Detroit and Green Bay. Now, that game looked under for 80% of the game. And then there was a bunch of scoring in the fourth quarter. And then there was a score with a touchdown with zero time on the clock to have that game go over. That was one of the luckiest overs I could ever hit. But I did pick it, okay? And I've had bad beats and unlucky ones. So with that, NFL, not a great week in the NFL. The Raiders have a bye week, but I don't see any great matchups that really jump out. Houston plays at Los Angeles against the Rams, or the Coliseum, the location for that. With the way the Rams are playing, with Houston is encouraging right now with what they can do. So a pretty big NFC matchup there. Dallas plays at Atlanta. Not a bad one either there. It's going to be an afternoon game on Sunday as well. Here's the bad one of the week. In San Francisco, New York Giants playing in San Francisco. Normally that would be a great East Coast, West Coast matchup. Is the best thing you could say there. It'll be interesting to see if Jimmy Garoppolo gets some significant playing time in this game for the Niners. At some point, they got to bring him out and have him do something. But I would imagine that they will. Oh, by the way, I'm looking here on a ticket on a ticket request, and it says for that game, New York at San Francisco, 3,500 tickets available, starting at $15. Yeah, $15. You can go to that NFL game at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara for $15. Is the opening price for that? That's the lowest price I see for. New Orleans at Buffalo from $28, but that's Buffalo this time of year. Okay, that's Buffalo on Sunday, and a cold spell is hitting the East Coast right now. This is in San Francisco. This is where the weather's nice, things are great. Go out there, watch some football. Might be fun if I were in the Bay Area. Yeah, I think I'd go check that out. I would like to go see the Rams play Houston. I may head out there this weekend to check that out, to see a Rams game in the Coliseum. Also today on 8 News Now, tonight at 5 and 6 o'clock, I'm going to be doing a story on the latest with the stadium being built up here in Summerlin, the baseball stadium for the 51s. What's happening here, 51's been playing at Cashman Field forever. When I say forever, 34 years at Cashman Field. They're going to be moving by 2019 to a new stadium up in Summerlin. I say up here because I live in Summerlin, so close by where I'm at, about a mile or so from my house, which is great. So it's going to be up here. They've got a meeting, a planning commission meeting today to be able to talk about some of the details and what they have to do with the permits and to make that happen, specifically on the building of that stadium. The stadium is going to be, best way to describe it, Red Rock Casino. If you know where Red Rock Casino is, just east of Red Rock Casino and right next door to where the Golden Knights practice facility is. So that's going to make that sort of a hop in place before too long. 2019, so 2 years, they expect to have it built, state-of-the-art stadium there. And by the way, the 51s need to be working. They're with the Mets, affiliated with the Mets right now, but my guess, they're going to work real hard to be able to get the affiliation with the Dodgers. They had it at one time. They lost it because Cashman Field sucked. Now that they got a new stadium with the top amenities you can imagine, the convention authority here in town, it's called the LVCVA, Las Vegas Visitors Convention Authority, Las Vegas Visitors Convention Authority, LVCVA, put $80 million into this stadium, so they get the naming rights for the stadium. It's going to be called Las Vegas Stadium. So that's sort of nice, but a bunch of money they're putting towards it to make that happen. I'm very happy to see that happening up here for Don Logan and the 51s. They've been working hard since they were the Stars, now the 51s, to be able to make that happen, and looking forward to that. So tonight, we'll have the latest for you on 8 News Now at 5 and 6 o'clock. Also, should mention, Cashman Field in February of next year is going to be home to the Las Vegas Lights soccer team. And that's they're in the USL, so it's a minor league to Major League Soccer, the MLS. But it's going to be fun to see that team play. It's a great location for them down there. And so they're going to share the facility for 2 years. They're going to share the facility it's going to be 51s baseball and soccer. They're going to have to flatten the mound out, put grass in there, play soccer, lift it up, turn it around, put the mound in, play baseball. So they're going to have a few months where they have to do that in the middle during the spring. But I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do here. So we got soccer coming to town. Oh, I put up a poll. Go ahead and put a vote on this on when. It's on Vegas Sportscast on Twitter, at Vegas Sportscast. When do you think Vegas will get an NBA franchise? And the options are within 2 years, 4 to 5 years, 10 years, or never are the options. So go ahead and give a vote. Love to see what you think about that. I think it's going to happen sooner rather than later. And sooner by what I mean, I don't think within 2 years, but 4 to 5 years there will be an NBA franchise here. There's a lot of teams that want to move. The handful of teams in the NBA are struggling, and they would look for a new place. And people are noticing. I guarantee you other sports entities, leagues, are noticing the success of the Vegas Golden Knights here in town. Selling out like crazy. Okay? So they're seeing that success, and they're going to want to jump on that and the excitement of Las Vegas. So all of that being said, that's a lot going on. Groundbreaking for the Raiders Stadium is going to be Monday, and there's still some issues, and I've talked about that before on this podcast, some issues on whether they're going to be able to get the money, the financing, the permits. They can do the groundbreaking, you can do that, but there's still, and I'm projecting that there may be some issues with that site, that location, and what's happening there. So we'll have the latest for you on that as well. But check us out tonight, 5 and 6 on 8 News Now, with the latest on the 51 Stadium, the Las Vegas Stadium that's going to be built here in Summerlin. Going to have a groundbreaking on that before too long. So that's it. Hope you all have a nice, see where are we at? Wednesday out there. I'm Ron Futrell. That's the way I see it.